Okay. Okay, I'd like to call the College Council meeting, April 7th, of SUNY Polytechnic Institute to order. I want to welcome everybody. Thank you to our College Council members for coming and being here, and for our executive team. Thank you very much. I do need a motion to approve the meeting minutes of January 15th, 2026. Mitch? So moved. Second?
Second.
Any discussion, any corrections? Hearing none, I'll take a motion to approve. Everybody indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? The minutes have been approved. Mitch? Oh, okay.
There's no Zoom setup for today.
There's no Zoom set up for,
We had a request, so we didn't put anything in place for us.
okay. So that's okay. We just can't send it to him because we didn't know. Okay, apologize to him for us. Okay, thank you. Okay. Wally, our president.
Thanks, Ryan.
Yep.
It's a pleasure to give this report of our activities over the last few months. We're starting with a picture of the Chancellor, who visited us a few months ago and had a great interaction with our students who really, I think, did a wonderful job of telling our story, all the way from EOP to all the different ways in which workforce experience while still at SUNY Poly is really making a difference. In addition to that, is it not on? Which one?
This one, just hold it.
Okay. And so we had another record-breaking year with our Day of Giving, shattering the earlier record of $260,000 with an amazing $316,845. The question is, what are we going to do next year?
So I joined, Andrea asked me to join 10 women in giving $1,000, which I did. And we got to 7, I think. And now we're challenging men.
Yes. And so, so I think, why should women have all the fun?
Right.
That's what I say. And so,
Right.
so I'm joining forces with Steve Suarez to raise a men's team to see what the men can do.
I love it.
So we'll see. I don't know if we'll quite make 7,000, but we're going to challenge all the men out there and see what we can do to change this total. So we'll see what happens in the next.
I'm looking forward to hearing it.
Well done.
Thank you, Andrea. But that's very good. And congratulations to Andrea, congratulations to the team, it's to the foundation. It's great to have this type of support out there from the community and from our alumni. I'm sure it's a lot of alumni.
It's a lot of alumni, and it's folks sitting around this table. We couldn't have done it without all of you, so my
Great.
sincere thanks.
Great, thank you. Okay,
Thanks very much.
got that out.
Yep. And during the visit by Chancellor King, we had a chance to talk to different students, to also visit our labs, which become more amazing by the day thanks to the investments by the state. Here we're showing, him visiting the robotics labs, interacting with students of different types in conversations about experiential learning and the value of experiential learning in industry. And quite frankly, I could think of no better example of how to tell our story than what the students had to say about their growth through these types of programs.
I know Saba participated too.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, she was very good, very articulate.
Actually, Saba, I think, is one of our best spokespersons. I don't know, how was this experience for you, Saba? Thank you. And then, in terms of recognition, the Carnegie designations are typically very sort of highly valued in academia. So the designation of an opportunity program is a gold standard for higher ed, reflecting our ability to broaden student access. And so only 1 in 8 SUNYs have this recognition, and we're thrilled to have earned this designation.
Congratulations.
Now, beyond that, we've been very busy engaging external and government partners. Wayne and his team and everyone else on the team really has made this a special focus as part of our strategy. And a great example of this was just a week ago when we had our first AI in Action showcase. And this was an opportunity for SUNY Poly to highlight AI and its applications to engineering, healthcare, business, and also the arts and sciences. We had an incredible lineup of folks who came to present and also to talk about some of the limits of AI. So showing here are some of the folks that participated. Dr. Nick Kander, who is a leading neurosurgeon, was here to talk about the applications of AI. And Nick gave, by the way, a fantastic talk and really connected the reality of today's experience when you go to the doctor, where everything you interact with in his clinic is AI. And then where you start looking at AI applications to surgery, enabling things to be done today just that are so different from what we could even imagine just a few months ago. So that talk inspired many people. And we also had discussions that engaged faculty from engineering, from arts and sciences, and then folks, like Maria Contaridis and Dr. Bill Lacates, talking about the future of healthcare and how it will be influenced by the emergence of what's going on in AI today. In fact, in case of Dr. Lacates, he said it's already happening at such a rate that it's defining the horizons of what they can do. Now, also at this showcase was a leader really in the importance of imagination and creativity. And Dr. Gerald, here on the left, from Buffalo State University, gave an exceptional talk, really getting us to remember that no matter what happens with AI, the importance of human creativity, imagination, and innovation is what truly makes us special. And so we were kind of very excited as a community to see what this means when you apply these concepts of applied imagination over and above AI as a way of preparing our students for the future. So it was a great interaction. We're now planning on the next steps, which include workforce development modules that will be opened out to the public, in addition to supporting educational and research initiatives that build on what we discussed at this meeting. By the way, earlier on today, I was at MMRI just discussing some of the consequences of that for our research. And then we had the Steve DeMille speaker series. We've had 2 of these sessions. These are sessions really focused on bringing together from our local community to celebrate and honor the legacy of Steve DeMille, who, as we know, was focused on really the development of this region and how it can be enabled in strategic ways. I still remember, very fondly Steve, who engaged me from the very beginning of my time here, always thinking about the role the college can play in developing the region, and really happy to see this series of sort of recognition for the work. In this last series, we had a discussion that included Heather Hage, Maria Contaridis from MRI, no, not true. In this last series, we had the presidents of Herkimer College, MVCC, and Utica University engaged in a discussion that was very productive, facilitated by Patricia Kilburn. And then perhaps one of the most remarkable events of this last few weeks was the Leadership Summit that was organized here. And this was really a great event where SUNY Poly hosted the Greater Utica Chamber of Commerce and a number of others in bringing over 500 women to campus. And so, Andrea, do you want to say a few words here?
Sure, so this was the Chamber's second annual event. Last year, the first year they had it was held at the Delta Hotel, and they sold out in 4 days, I think it was. Thank you. They sold out in 4 days, and it was like 350 women. And they knew from that day that there was an appetite, there was a need within the community for something like this. So I had a conversation with Carrie and Morgan, and I asked them if they would ever consider bringing the event here to SUNY Poly. They had plans to go and check out other locations, one being the Nexus Center. And I said, I encouraged them to do that. I said, please go check them out, and then when you're done, come check us out. And so they did, and it was just a fantastic day. Wally and I had a meeting that morning as they were setting up, and we got done with our meeting early, and I said, you need to come with me. And he said, oh my God, where am I going? And I said, you need to come up to the field house. You have to see this. And I'm just so glad that he took a moment to go and be able to say thank you to Carrie and Morgan. It was an incredible day. There's others that are around this table that attended. It was fantastic. The speakers were amazing. We used almost every inch of this campus to host the event, and I think they were so pleased, and I do think that they will consider us again in the future.
Yeah, thanks. Thank you so much. And I know after this, you and Michelle and others have been plotting. Do you want to tell us what you've been plotting?
I don't know if I really need this, but we're actually looking at a Women in Leadership program that will span the course of September to December. It'll be one time a month. We were going to cap it at about 40 individuals that could attend and be part of the program. We would charge a small fee for it. We're going to talk about things such as how to have difficult conversations, how to negotiate. What were some of the other topics that we had discussed? Wellness and what that looks like for women in leadership and self-care. Mental health is another big component of that. And additionally, there's another program that I'm looking at that I would like to try to mimic, and I haven't had the opportunity to talk to Doc about this yet, but Making of a Man is an initiative that's done in the Albany region of New York, and I'd like to try and replicate that for this area as well, to reach out to individuals that are in the workforce or wanting to enter the workforce that need additional support and guidance. I would like to use both of these programming elements as segues into our degree programs, whether that's at a graduate level or undergraduate level, to expose people to the campus more, but also to really start to liaise with local businesses, to find out where their gaps are with their employees and try to do assessments and provide micro-credentialing at the management level, which is through my career tenure where I've seen most of the gaps are. A lot of people are grown into their positions and not given proper training. So if we can find a niche market to really do that for the mid-sized markets, I think it would be a great boost to hopefully enrollment and otherwise.
Thanks. And I want to talk also about some of the recent progress with research. So Mike, can we start with Wayne also joining you in the next two slides?
So yeah, we've been very active over the last couple of years to build our relationships with Department of Defense program managers, and those efforts are coming to fruition. We will be receiving a $5 million research initiative in April or likely May on foundational modeling perseveration for AI. And this is going to be awarded through the Army Development Command Analysis Center, the DAC Center. And so it's a one-year project, and we've got collaborators from University of South Florida, as well as University of Maryland, but Poly is the lead. And we have 6 projects with our Poly faculty that will be part of that award. But better yet, that initial award is going to be part of a base contract, and a base contract that's an IDIQ, indefinite deliverables, indefinite quantity, and that's what's going to set a ceiling on this contract of $61 million. And what's great about that is, as we continue to build these relationships with Army program managers and even other DoD program managers, if they like what we have, we just have to write up a statement of work, build a budget, and have that added to that $61 million contract. So it makes it a much faster process. We don't have to write a cold proposal to a broad agency announcement, 20-page proposal, wait 9 months, and maybe get something. Having this contract will allow us to get more money to the campus in a much more rapid fashion. And then lastly, we've been working with the U.S. Navy Naval Sea Systems Command, NAVSEA, for some work that's based on cold spray processing for the repair and manufacturing of corrosion and wear-resistant graphene-coated cold naval structures. It's a lot of words, but basically it's an additive manufacturing process that will allow repairs to be done to naval ships in the field. And it's going to build off of core expertise in Wally's lab with respect to the additive manufacturing process, the development of new metal alloys, as well as the testing and reliability and failure analyses. So that's going to be
So it saves them from dry docking them then?
Yep, exactly. So repair in the field, so it saves time, saves money.
Right.
And this is going to be a $6 million initiative. The first part of it is $1.9 million, and that contract is moving forward as we speak as well.
Thanks, Mike. And then Wayne, do you want to talk a little bit about the appropriation?
Yeah, and I'll be brief on this. So, that last slide, I'll just emphasize, really showcases our relationship building, not only with our defense consultant command strategies that we've shared with all of you. It's developing relationships with DoD program managers. We've had them to campus. We've gone down to labs. And we've socialized our faculty, our principal investigators on a lot of these projects, so they know what we're capable of. And again, to Mike's point, that's what will allow us to really maximize that $61 million. So I share this because part of that process is each year we submit requests to the federal appropriations budget. A lot of this is predicated on strong relationships with our congressional representatives, because that's where we send these appropriation requests. We get a lot of consultation from command strategies, and so you'll notice 2 of these should look very similar. They are repeat projects where we've received funding, and we want to keep that in the federal budget. So the first 2 is the DAC, the $5 million. The NAVSEA is the $6 million. We're seeking $15 million additionally from the appropriations budget. The next 2 If you see there in the blue, it really describes what this is looking at, and it really focuses on both our communications, advanced communications, cyber faculty, and our computer science faculty as well. Mike, did I miss anybody in terms of the last two, the integrated aerial overmatch? And I'm going to give you guys a little more descriptive after Mike chimes in with some additional.
I think that the other folks who would be involved there is the electrical engineering faculty, the advanced communications, RF, and the terahertz related faculty.
So these have been submitted. The only thing I'll add is we're also scheduling meetings with our congressional reps in April to really give them more detail and showcase our capabilities so that our congressional reps can fight for us and try to secure and bring home that funding.
So again, want to thank, the council and the foundation as well, of course, for their support of what started out as an idea. I'm also kind of tickled a little bit in that we're now competing with the likes of Northeastern University and winning. And we hope that, especially with that $60 million platform, that we'll be able to leverage some of these as SUNY Poly pushes into this area.
That's great.
Then the other thing that's also exciting is our effort to establish what would be the first school of advanced manufacturing in the state of New York. And so the plan is to convert the Quad C building into that school and bring together really a team that includes major players from industry with us in academia, working also to leverage the support of government to really develop this vision. So we have a real champion in Assemblywoman Buttonshaw, but also with Miller, Smolin, and Senator Griffo really coming together to support this initiative in a big way. We're seeking $100 million to establish the school. And the first step in this is the restoration of the research capital budget, which was pushed by Assembly members Buttonshaw, Miller, Smolin, and Griffo, led by Assemblywoman Buttonshaw. So we're hoping to hear about the final outcome in the next few weeks. The fact that she was able to get the research capital budget restored was a major, major achievement. And I'm hoping that in the next few weeks we will get the final vote on this, which will be a major, major breakthrough for us in that it will give us the infrastructure and the space to really make advanced manufacturing one of the major hallmarks of SUNY Poly.
Can I add something? They all have been very supportive. Marion has taken, I know, the lead. Have you thought about getting resolutions or letters of support from both the chambers in Oneida County? And because that represents a lot of small businesses, which people are looking at, which
That's a really
people
good
are
idea.
really looking at how small businesses can benefit from this advanced manufacturing economy.
Thanks, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
We'll
If you could, because I think, the small business is really the driver of our economy.
thank you.
Yeah.
So,
And everybody knows that Quad C is also known as the Danfoss Building, correct?
yeah.
Okay.
And so within the Danfoss building, we have some major efforts to kind of develop labs. And Mike, do you want to quickly just say a few words?
Yeah, we have currently have $20 million worth of funding from New York State to develop our semiconductor processing to packaging, research, education, and training facility. And this larger vision for the School of Advanced Manufacturing, it just takes that initial idea and just amplifies it, by 100. And we would have work going on in the first floor clean room that Danfoss currently works in, as well as work in the third floor clean room. And this would span, and we'd have, cornerstone type companies like Indium and Wolfspeed really playing major roles in the work done in that facility, both with respect to research as well as pilot manufacturing. So it would just greatly expand our capabilities.
It's a great idea, great program, Mike.
Thank you. And we're working, with New York Creates, Empire State Development, to get some complementary support from them. So in terms of campus news, last fall, the enrollment that we had was really very, very significant, especially at the undergraduate level, where we took in a class of 800 students. In terms of the first year, the applications increased by 3.9%. The admits also increased, and the deposits that we've seen so far are trending in the right direction. In terms of the transfers, there the story is a little bit more complicated. A reduction in transfers and admits, and the transfer applications are down, not just here at SUNY Poly, but across the SUNY system. But we're keeping an eye on transfers, and folks like Doc actually spending time at Mohawk Valley Community College, along with others, to really make sure that we're connecting to the students and really providing them with all the segues that they need to transfer to SUNY Poly. So overall, I think although the transfer numbers are a little down, the overall trend is that we're still getting a decent number of students coming here through the Path to Poly initiative, but we're having to keep an eye on this to make sure that we maintain the successful transfers.
So this is a snapshot in time. This is right now, correct?
That is correct.
Okay,
Yeah,
thank
this is
you.
where we're charting for fall 26.
Right.
As of April 1, and in comparison to last
But we still
last
have
spring.
time
We
as
still
far
have
as
time, and
applications
We're
are
in the
Yes.
thick of it.
Yeah. So we're in the thick of it. We're paying attention to
Oh.
this. Go ahead.
I was just going to announce, so as we were sitting here, Alicia sent it again, and first-year deposits are actually up 35%. So we are trending even higher than that right now.
good news.
Thank you. Yeah. Now, in terms of graduate enrollment, we all know what's going on internationally with graduate students and visas. There's been a downward decline in graduate student enrollment, partly due to the challenges of the international arena and visas. And so right now, we're slightly ahead in both acceptances and deposits, but overall, the trend has been challenging. And the graduate numbers, of course, have struggled due to the political climate. So we're changing our focus a little bit to start looking at graduate enrollment here in the U.S. And we're actually seeing some promising signs of graduate enrollment in the U.S. with online applications. And so that is enabling us now to consider shifting some of our resources into marketing
Yeah,
in
online.
those areas, in the online area, and really trying to build the U.S. market. So it turns out that actually our value proposition is really attractive, not just in the Northeast, but increasingly across the country. And so that is part of how we're sort of working our way out of this situation.
Some of the very huge universities are focusing on online study. Syracuse University being one of them,
Yeah, no,
big time.
Yeah, and I'm sure if you watch the television, you'll see Arizona State University
Yeah.
and a few other places. And I think there is promise for us to grow this area, especially supporting the workforce that wants to work but also go to school and get a graduate degree. And then the signs in terms of accepted student days events so far have been well attended, and students and families are depositing. The next accepted Students' Day is April the 11th with 400 total RSVPs so far. And essentially we're keeping an eye on these events, which have turned out to be high-yield events in recent years. And so then beyond that, we're doing the usual high school visits, college fairs, all the stuff that we typically have done with good results. And then just wanted to just talk a little bit about recent organizational changes. Brittany Morovich has assumed the role of Dean of Students and Interim VP of Student Affairs. Brittany. And Dr. Mark Montgomery has resumed the role as VP for DEIB and Chief Diversity Officer.
It is happy.
And he's happy. And he's also, of course, connecting to so many of our students in his own special way. Carla Sinisgali has been promoted to AVP of Human Resources, alias the clone of Michelle. But we're happy to have the support that we need in that area, and also the support, of course, of Michelle. And then Dan Sargent has now begun his new role as External Relations Project Coordinator with WAVE.
Right.
So these are all organizational changes that are putting people in places where they are really making a good impact on SUNY Poly. And then we have some new SUNY fellows to acknowledge. Dr. Steve Schneider, of course, who used to be the provost, is also the co-director of our AIX Center. He's been selected as a SUNY AI Fellow for the Public Good. He's really got this infectious ability to get everybody excited about AI, and it's just wonderful to see what he's doing to promote AI for the public good. And our own Andrea Hemerick, Director of Student Academic Success, who's really had a transformational impact on our first-year success rates, amongst other things, has been selected as one of the inaugural SUNY Academic Momentum Campaign Fellows. These are really prestigious awards that really recognize the excellence in our faculty as well as in our staff. And in the month of February was Campus Safety Month. And so we had lots and lots of messages on campus safety, fire safety, chemical safety, Title IX, and we even tested our rave emergency alert system, which
What did that involve?
I can speak on that.
Go ahead.
So really what it is we let everyone know that we're testing it, and to be honest with you, it's to run a test of who administers this, but it's also intended to really create some awareness that if everyone's getting the test at the same time, you're hoping those who say, well, I didn't get the test, well, you have to sign up for it. So in addition to test, it was really more of an awareness to
Right.
the importance of having everybody on board to receive the emergency alerts when it is in fact a real emergency. So we always see an uptick in registration, and we work closely with Chief Bean and University Police. We always see an uptick when we do these tests. People realize they're not on board. So, yeah, thank you for asking.
The other thing that we also do is we do scenario simulations, tabletops, and these are done without a crisis that we hope will never happen. And it's interesting to see what we learn each time we do those practices in terms of how we can keep our campus safe. So news from the colleges. The College of Arts and Sciences recently received news that the Physics Bachelor of Science degree program has been approved. This is a good step forward, especially for some of our really talented physics students who will now have the opportunity to major in physics. And then there are an additional 10 new programs at SUNY Poly undergoing development. As part of that, we will have major master's programs in at least 5 engineering disciplines within the next 6 months to a year. And we're also hoping to have an approved PhD program in engineering in the near future. But we also had the College of Arts and Sciences Week in March of this year. These college weeks really bring together all that's sort of really strong and exciting in each of our colleges and really showcase, just the great value of SUNY Poly in all disciplines. In the College of Business, we've just completed the regional New York State Business Plan competition last week. As usual, it was a great success, and we had some folks from M&T Bank donate to assist with the funding of the event. Andrea, do you want to say a few words there?
Sure. So M&T last year. Sure. M&T was the major sponsor of the competition this year. They actually had a member of their team come and participate as a judge during this year's competition, and they've already expressed interest in supporting the event moving forward. So it was really great.
Then SUNY Poly had 2 teams participate in Lockheed Martin's Ethics in Engineering case competition. This was a competition that had over 100 different teams take part, and we made it to the top 8 amongst some of the best colleges of engineering in the country. So kudos to the team for the excellent work. And then in the College of Engineering, the College of Engineering Week took place in February. This brought together lots of folks, students, faculty, alumni, and industry partners for 5 days with lots of exciting hands-on learning, research, showcases, career exploration, and industry engagement. The week-long celebration was really great for the spirit in the engineering school, and I think this is sort of an exciting tradition that we're happy to continue. And then in the case of the College of Health Sciences, the white coat ceremony was held on January 9th. This, of course, is a special ritual for all nurses as they transition to the clinical phase of their training. And for our group here, having a School of Nursing plus this kind of ceremony really had great impact on morale and excitement in the field. We've had recently also a minor in public health
That's great.
approved by the curriculum committee, and the dean, of course, has been a great supporter of this effort. And so it's great to see this come to fruition.
So once the curriculum committee approves it, it's okay, it's in place?
For the minor, that's true, it's in place.
For a minor, yes, but for a major, it has to go through
It has to go through.
everybody else.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
SUNY and that.
SUNY and all that, so
and
it will
that,
take a
yeah.
little time.
Okay, but a minor, you can do it locally.
Yes, you
Okay.
can do it locally.
Thank you.
And this is it was a fun moment there with Louise Dean Kelly and a whole bunch of people celebrating at that white coat ceremony. In terms of our students, it's been great to see our students present at national and international conferences. Seth Walther and Henry Yerdon recently traveled to Denver to talk about their research at the Physics Global Summit, which is a great honor. And then computer science student and SGU College Council Rep John Purtle, who was part of our group here.
Right, he was.
Published research as part of the Wireless Center, and
Wow.
is now heading to Dublin, Ireland later this month to present at a conference
Wow, that's
of the
great.
European Association of Antennas and Propagation. So our students are doing great things, getting exposed, and also showing the great value of the kind of education that they get here. Then the EOP program continues to grow and get recognition. This last few weeks, we were visited by SUNY Vice Chancellor Cheryl Hamilton to celebrate our own EOP students during the EOP Week of Service. In an interesting way, if you track the impact of the EOP, what you see is that their students maintain over 90% success rate due to the kind of preparation that the students get and the support that they get in their work at SUNY Poly. So it's really great to see our EOP program grow and continue to support our students.
Well, I'm going to date myself. When I was in the assembly, Norman McConney was a staff member. So his award that's interesting.
And, you know, it's also kind of interesting to put a face to some of the students receiving these awards and just what it means at the human level. These are awards that are truly transforming the lives of our students here at SUNY Poly. And one of the things that I like a lot is having fun with my brother here, Doc. We both love interacting with international students, and so we were both privileged to be invited to the Eid Festival. And the great thing about Eid and a lot of these festivals is all the students and all the faculty and all the staff come together to celebrate. And I have to say, the food, at least for me, that was provided that day was an added treat. In terms of what's coming up, the Wellness Fair is scheduled for April 14th. Over 50 organizations will be tabling, and
Oh, good.
Upstate Mobile Mammography will also be on
Great.
campus. And then our project showcase will be held on the 1st of May, where our students get a chance to present their capstone projects and research. We encourage you, please consider attending if you are able to support our students. And we're looking forward to our 2 commencement speakers. Our own very own Robesh will be one of the speakers. He is, of course, well recognized for his work in philanthropy and also building businesses in this region. And then Henry Cialone, who is the former president of the Edison Welding Institute, which is a $1 billion investment by the state of New York in manufacturing, will be the keynote speaker in the engineering segment of the program. Both speakers will receive a SUNY honorary doctorate, which goes through a lot of scrutiny. So Wayne, do you want to tell us a little bit about what goes on before you get one of these?
Yeah, well, it's a pretty rigorous process. I mean, nomination packages, not letter, but packets have to be prepared. For us, fortunately, at SUNY Poly, we have a committee that really brings forth ideas. That committee consists of faculty members, students, leaders on campus that really throw some names out on the table. We really look at it. We got to follow guidelines that, you know, for example, elected officials in office can't be nominated. So that nomination process, that is first reviewed by SUNY. They come back and tell you you can proceed by asking the individuals, are they interested? They indicate they're interested. It goes through another round of review by SUNY and the Board of Trustees. And then ultimately, just before you can give it, there's a final review to make sure, and I'll say this in a fun way, that nothing has occurred since the approval. They haven't been out on social media creating
Havoc.
bad reputation for SUNY or the institution. And so I'm pleased to say that both Rob and Henry have passed with flying colors. Wally and I have talked to both of them on numerous occasions to establish touch points. They are thrilled, they are beyond honored, and they're really looking forward to coming to campus in May. They're bringing their family. It's extremely meaningful for them. So we're looking forward to it. And our students will benefit from them. It's as it's noted on there, they receive this degree, but they also are the keynote and they get to address our graduates.
Thank you, Wade.
You bet.
And so we're excited to celebrate, of course, this year our 60th anniversary, and we're looking forward to the party in September with the gala. And Andrea, I don't know if you want to say a few words just to get everybody all excited.
Sure, so please be sure to put the date on your calendars, invitations, and save the dates. Will be going out. One of the exciting pieces of the evening will be a DJ, help me out, Brittany, a DJ battle, okay. And I think we've got a couple of our very own here that might be involved in that battle, so that should be fun.
Dr. Mark?
Dr. Mark and Wally.
Oh,
How's that for a surprise?
whoa! Not only do they
now.
taste the food, but they provide the music.
Wasn't I a DJ in college? That's what I thought.
They were just going to get me to test out the food.
It'll be held in the campus center dining hall, the newly renovated campus center, and then the evening will conclude with fireworks over the campus.
Very nice. Very nice.
So really, thank you to all of you. Thanks to the team for what has been, I think, an exciting last few months. And look forward to answering any questions that you might have.
Any comments? Anybody? Okay. Well, thank you. Thank you so much. That was very comprehensive and very exciting about what's going on. Thank you. Okay. Faculty representative, Dr. McLean.
Yeah, thank you.
We missed you at the last meeting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I apologize. And
No,
actually
but that's okay. You had
I
a
have to take
representative.
off right after this to go to the curling club for the final game of the season in the men's
Oh,
league. So
Are you in it? You're in it?
yes.
Oh, wow.
So I have
Okay.
to go and get there by 5:45. But let
Okay.
me just real quick, I don't have any slides.
That's
but
all
I
right.
have a few things I want to mention. We had a visit from the SUNY Senate Chair, Bruce Simon, who's a professor at Fredonia, but this year he's serving as the chairperson of the system-wide Senate. It went really well. He met with faculty, he met with governance leaders, he met with Wally and Andy, and some other people too, and I believe it was a very successful visit. He and I had a good conversation afterwards about more things we can do to strengthen the relationship between governance and administration, which I think we already have a good working relationship as it is. So, but Bruce is a super nice guy, so it was good to have him here. I'll be at graduation this year as part of the platform party as usual. Last May I was in Madagascar, so I had to send somebody in my place for doing field work, but I'll be there this year. I'm not leaving till the end of May this year to go down there. So I guess that's not really that important of news.
No.
Whatever.
No, it's good news.
Faculty governance has been working on a number of policies, including a policy on transfer credits and how to recognize things like prior experience when people transfer in. We've been working on a policy to clarify and standardize office hours across the 4 colleges, especially in light of the fact that old school office hours, the students seem to prefer Zoom appointments now. The majority of them do. And so how we quantify what constitutes an office hour and all that, we're parsing that out. We're going to put forward some recommendations for the preparation of peer review packets, which are what faculty put together when they go up for promotion and tenure, just to kind of streamline that process a little more. We've got coming up for a vote this month actually, a syllabus access policy that states that any information that's going to be required to have on a course syllabus needs to be distributed no later than 2 weeks before the start of the semester so that faculty have time to include it, which, this would be things like the accessibility services statement. And I'm not picking on them, they always get their stuff out quickly, but just as an example of something that we're required to have on our syllabi for the students to have access to. We're going to be doing a bunch of elections at the April meeting. We need a new faculty senator to represent us at the SUNY Senate. Fran Reed is done after this term and isn't going to be coming back as senator. We need chairs for the standing committees, planning and budgeting, technology and research scholarship and creative work. And we're going to be voting on a secretary for the assembly who's effectively the vice chair. Christina Boylan has indicated she's willing to serve a second term, so that should be easy. But if she changes her mind or something, we'll find somebody else. Then my last announcement is that at the end of 2027 academic year, I am term limited out, so August 2027. And so I've started attempting to find a successor. Normally it would be the Secretary of the Assembly, but Christina still has relatively young kids, and I think she would rather have more time for them, and so has shown some doubts about wanting to do that right now. But I have a few people that I think would be good that I've been talking to, and it's just sort of about explaining what it entails and the time commitments and everything that are involved, and going to the plenaries and all that kind of stuff that I think most people don't realize the chair does. And so, but hopefully we find somebody solid. So,
Great.
Yeah, that's all I have. Does anybody have questions for me? Sorry, I forgot to turn my mic on.
It's okay.
Okay.
Thank you, Adam.
Thank
Good
you.
luck.
Thank
Good
you,
luck.
everybody. Yeah, I appreciate it.
Bring home that award.
Yeah, sorry to disappear on everybody here. I appreciate that.
Yeah. Thank you. Okay. Saba Haji, our student representative update. I think you got your clicker? Okay.
Hello.
Hello.
So this is going to be a recap of spring 2026. And this is our current SGU officer team. And some SGU initiatives is that they went to Advocacy Day in Albany, and they recently donated 27 volumes of Magna to the library's collection. And they also have a free Central Bus initiative that allows students to get 10 free bus rides for 5 days, and they're free for students and paid for by SGU. And they also have a Swipe It Forward initiative that allows students to donate up to 4 meal swipes a semester to students that are in need. And this process is done confidentially through VP of Student Affairs and SGU advisor. And currently, they had a debate today, and they're going to do voting, and the results will be announced for the next election on April 16th. And then some recap of events is Experience Leadership was held here and had over 500 attendees. And then the MV Edge Speaker Series that hosted local community college presidents. And then SGU held a professional development day that was joined by MVCC and Utica University Student Government and Leadership Team, and most recently the SUNY Poly AI in Action Showcase. Okay. And Webb hosted a few events this semester, over 40 events each semester, averaging 106 attendees. And Casino Night, they had over 401 students show up. And events included Squid Games, free bowling, free movies, casino nights, and so many more. And they also hosted free trips to different cities such as New York City, Salem, and most recently Boston. And they're currently counting down to Apocalypse Week starting on April 18th that runs through the 25th and ends in Carnival Day. For Wildcat Esports highlights, multiple of their teams placed in the top 4 for the Eastern Collegiate Athletic Conference and SUNY Leagues, and the Rocket League Blue Team won SUNY League Championship. And they had a Super Smash Bros. Ultimate feature, which included teams placing top 8 and top 16. And there's updates for the arena going on, and it's been accessed over 4,300 times this semester. And they also have an upcoming Frag Fest on April 10th to the 12th with 200 plus attendees. For CSI highlights,
Yep, I can cover these. So on April 17th, we're going to be doing a kind of a partnership event with both International Student Services and Wildcat Hospitality. We're calling it the Multicultural Food Fest. So lunch on that day from 11 to 2 will be all different types of international foods. Most of them are kind of repeats from different cultural events that we had through the year. So I know they mentioned Eid. Actually, Amna, who was kind of the lead for Eid, shared her family's recipes. So we're going to be using student family recipes for those offerings that day. We'll also have a kite festival outside on that day as well. SC After Dark. So this year we're bringing our student recognition banquet back to campus. And that will be on April 24th in the gym. It's where we'll recognize all our student leaders for all the contributions they've done. After that event, so that's typically for student leaders, after that event, we're opening the Student Center up to every single student. So we're going to have a end of the semester celebration where we're just going to have programming all throughout the Student Center for them to kind of wind down the end of their semester. And then a new initiative that we've never done before, we're doing Poly Brews on the morning of April 28th. If anyone would like to test their barista skills, we're going to try to replicate 7 brews and be in the parking lot taking orders and giving coffee and tea to, and hot chocolate to students as they get ready for finals.
EOP recently had their Arthur Eve Week of Service, and on Tuesday, March 24th, they had lunch with MVCC EOP director and students, including the Associate Vice Chancellor. And then on Wednesday, March 25th, we did a reading at the elementary school for the Rome School District. And on Thursday, March 26th, we did readings for the elementary school district at MLK.
So, fun fact, Norman McConney was Arthur Eve's chief of staff.
Lots of connections.
I'm just full of trivia. Right. How about that?
And more opportunity program highlights is that C-STEP attended Advocacy Day in Albany, and then senior Fatima El Farhoud was awarded the Norman McConney Award for Student Excellence. And SUNY Poly's Educational Opportunity Program has grown by 60% since 2019. And upcoming, C-STEP will be going to the Binghamton University's Men of Color Summit, and also there's a Cornell C-STEP Research Conference on April 18th.
Great.
And just a recap of the MSA Eid celebration, there was over 120 plus attendees. For Office of Workforce Development highlights, we had the SUNY Chancellor visit, which had a tour and roundtable, and then the Career Fair Expo had over 150 employer representatives, and different college weeks were held, and then we recently had the Wildcats Networking Mixer with alumni on April 3rd, and they also have a link tree. And then these are just events they wanted to highlight for upcoming summer paid internship opportunities for students. And then, do you want to take this, Brittany?
Yeah. So as we mentioned earlier, the Wellness Fair will be on April 14th. Another initiative that we've launched this semester is Timely Care. So Timely Care is a 24/7 service for virtual health and wellness and counseling for our students. So it's not to replace our services, it's to offer more. So this really helps students nights and weekends. They can access the 24/7 medical as many times as they want. Think of it like a well now. And then the mental health, they can do up to 12 virtual mental health appointments. And the good thing about it is it does cover during the breaks and during the summer. So students can continue their care in between semesters. And then the last update, PolyPals. So that was an initiative that came about in the fall. We've had 43 students and faculty sign up to be PolyPals. We, through the collaboration with another staff member who built me a awesome AI-powered website, we were able to match students and faculty and staff based on their interests. And then we have 3 events that we planned for the spring. We had one at the end of March. We have one tonight after this, and then we have another one happening in later in April. So 3 events for, it's really open to anyone, but it was highly marketed to the PolyPals students and staff.
Great.
Some student accessibility highlights is that they went to Student Empowerment Day in Albany, and they also have a digital accessibility challenge on week 8, which had 69 participants, and they also have a newsletter. For athletics highlights, the women's lacrosse team will be participating in Morgan's Message this past Saturday, and then this week is D3 week, with athletics teams competing in a Clash of Classes event on Thursday, April 9th. And then SUNY Poly senior forward Anthony Rose was named the all-region first team as one of the top performers in the region, and he was also selected to play in the NABC All-Star Game. Additionally, SUNY Poly's Maddox Garvey has been named to the Team USA Deaf Baseball roster and will represent the U.S. at the 2026 World Deaf Baseball Championship in Japan.
That's
This is
awesome.
one of the most prestigious honors in the international deaf sports, and he'll be competing November 2026.
Wow, that's great.
And then some K through 12 outreach initiatives is that they work with BOCES to host high school students as interns on our campus, and they had visits from Cooperstown, Central Valley, South Louis, and Utica City schools. And most recently, they held STEM empowerment camps, and they also hosted the drone soccer event and the NYSTEEA conference. And then we also had a mentoring mindset training program held. So they do a lot of events and activities. And they will also have a SUNY Poly Power Hour for Utica City School Districts coming up, and a Career Fair Expo along with some future women in STEM with the MACNY program and more STEM camps.
Just so the record, that's Little Falls in the corner there,
Oh, right there on the right?
right there.
Yep.
That's our EBD students, elementary, which you saw.
Right. I've seen them too.
Not that I'm bragging.
Right, but you should.
And yeah, that's it. And we have some upcoming events like the Student Leadership Banquet on April 24th, the Athletics Banquet on May 3rd, and the Academic Awards Ceremony on May 8th, and Commencement Ceremony on May 9th, and the 60th Anniversary Gala on September 19th. So if anyone is interested, please let Brittany know. And that's it. Thank you.
Okay. Any questions? Any comments? Any concerns? Okay, so this is going to end the recording and live stream of our college council meeting. At the conclusion of the session that I'm going to ask us to go into executive session, I do need an executive session, the college council meeting will be concluded. So this will be the end of the college council meeting, and I need a motion to go into executive session. So moved, second, okay, Keith and Mitch, all in favor, any comments? All in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, abstention? Okay, we will be going into executive session, and I will ask anyone who's